Hey everybody, I just wanted to give you a quick heads up before we go into the episode today. We have some really big news for the Batavia community, and it involves you. We are hosting our second ever live show on Thursday, October 9th, also at Sturdy Shelter. This is our Batavia Spooky Season celebration, and we've got some really cool guests lined up to talk about how the Halloween season brings our community together. Your 6:30 membership gets you into the October live show for free. Plus, you'll unlock access to that exclusive monthly meetup, our behind the scenes content, and a community that is dedicated to belonging right here in Batavia. So if you love the show and you want to be part of the conversation, join us. The link to the 6:30 is in the show notes. Okay, let's start the show. This episode of Area Code Batavia is brought to you by the Rotary Club of Batavia, a membership organization that does a range of service projects for the community. If you're looking to get started making a difference in Batavia, you can find out more at bataviarotaryclub.org or click the link in the show notes. Hey everybody, you're listening to Area Code Batavia, a podcast about what it means to belong in Batavia, Illinois. I'm your host, Richard Clark. For this episode, I talked to Talitha Mueller, the owner of the historic Batavia Popcorn Depot.
We are hidden in a parking lot here, a 4x8 little shack, and it's the original structure. It's been resided and re-roofed, but the inside's original, just been painted, and it was built in 1929. So it's got some quirks to it and some antique character, but I love it. Like, it's a little slanted, I think. And we have to make sure like the popcorn doesn't slide off the counter. It's got beautiful charm, and it's got a nice coat of oil inside because of the popping. And it's cozy, warm.
That small slanted building would be hard to miss if it wasn't for the crowds of patrons who line up for what is really a pretty humble product. There are no other offerings at the Popcorn Depot. No candy for sale, no drinks, and no merchandise. And yet this small business has a substantial following of regulars who stop by weekly or more to treat themselves and their family. There's a reason for this. It doesn't take long for Talitha to remember who you are. She starts to ask personal questions that go beyond the compulsory Trader Joe's-esque small talk. And the genuine care she demonstrates to everyone is too surprising to feel like prying, at least to me. The more you visit, the more you start to feel like you're a part of things. This feeling was what was most interesting to me. Was it just a byproduct of Talitha's personality, or was this something more intentional? And what does running a historic establishment that has outside influence on your town do for your own sense of belonging? Well, I got answers. Here's my conversation with Talitha Mueller. What does this space mean to you?
Community. When we moved out to the suburbs from Chicago, it was a really hard adjustment for me in particular, because I was raised in a very urban environment. And I looked for places around town and for our kids that would become familiar landmarks for us and happy spaces and safe spaces for us. And the Popcorn Depot was always my number one go-to.
So it was there when you moved here?
Yes.
Someone else was running it?
Yes, Bob.
Bob Pepper.
Yes.
When was this?
2000. Yes. We moved to the western suburbs, but we moved to Batavia in 2005.
Got it. Okay. So you started hanging out at the Popcorn Depot?
I did. Yeah. Yes.
Was it always like a hangout place, or was it just a place where you got popcorn?
It was always a very welcoming, friendly, family feel. Bob owned it. That was his retirement gig, and his sons worked for him. And he always had friends around sitting outside, eating popcorn, talking about sports and their families and dogs. And that was a happy place for me.
And what did that specifically mean to you and your family at that time?
For me, it meant someplace familiar. And I liked that they knew me and knew my name. So I tried to carry that on. That's
a big thing that I think everyone that knows you is aware of, is that not only are you you're just extremely good at memorizing people's names, remembering people's names, which I am
Oh, thank you.
like legendarily bad at. Like my best friends, sometimes I'll just forget their names for no reason. But you also are really proactive about acknowledging people and helping people feel seen and known.
Thank you. And that was important to me because when I was there, would go to the depot as a customer, I felt that I could talk about our family and my likes and commonalities with Bob and Jack Pepper and Alex Pepper. And I want people to share their stories with me because your story is important.
Yeah.
And your family is important. And everybody has a story. We just need to listen to each other.
Yeah. So how do you do that? Because I think a lot of people own businesses and run businesses and are even like constantly working in those. But I don't know if everyone is using or knows how to use those businesses as an opportunity to hear people's stories. Does that make sense?
It does. And I think for me, the actual physical space helps because customers have to walk up to me. We make eye contact. There are smiles exchanged. So I hope that it feels welcoming. But I know other businesses don't have the same opportunity because they're bigger and I'm so small.
Yeah.
So I can only talk to one person at a time.
Yeah.
And that helps. And people are very patient waiting in line while someone's, I'll ask about their families and their health and what's going on.
Yeah.
And they take their time and share their story. You know what? It's really about listening.
But you're so busy. I've been here and you've been busy sometimes. So how do you balance that? Because that means things are good, right? Like you're a business.
Things are steady, yeah.
So busyness is good for business.
It is.
So how do you balance the thing of it's good for business, but it maybe is not great for the mission of the business?
It depends on the time of the season.
Okay.
So balance is a very kind word, but I don't always have it.
Okay.
So Wednesday night concerts, I have helpers that help and take orders. So when it's extremely busy, it definitely is a different dynamic with the customers because people have places to go and events to get to. So I try to find that balance of being efficient and providing their order, but sometimes we're slow at doing so and trying to keep up. I'm seeking balance. How about that?
Yeah, that's good.
It's not always
feels like a thing it requires a lot of skill and like a touch and go kind of like adapting thing. Just seeing where people are and adjusting to that.
I am a work in progress.
Okay.
And so is the business. Yeah. We're trying. We do our best.
Yeah.
We do. We always try our best. So I hate to make people wait. And sometimes it happens.
Are you internalizing that in the moment? Like, oh no, these people are waiting.
I am.
Huh.
Yep. And
Sounds
I try to acknowledge them with eye contact and, I'll be right with you. It is, yeah.
And you're always, people are offering kids little prizes and things like that. These little touches, I think, let people know I'm aware of your presence and even connecting with them in some way.
That is what we try to do. And the treasure box is, like you said, for kids, if they have to wait, and I know it's hard for them, it gives them something to kind of occupy their time, make them happy.
Yeah.
And it takes stress off the parents, I hope.
Right.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I mean, I love all of this because it's really interesting to hear about the intentional things. And I've interviewed a lot of business owners, and a lot of them have this, that you wouldn't think about it as a customer, which is like, the reason these things exist are for really missional reasons. They happen for a reason. Why something does or doesn't happen, or like the little ways that you do something. And so, you can kind of tell that. And it creates a culture of I am being
intentional.
You're being intentional, and you're connecting with everyone that's there, which is cool.
Oh, thank you.
What was the first time you felt you belonged in Batavia?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I always felt a sense of belonging in certain places. Like I said, I tried to map out familiar, comfortable spaces for myself and my family. Popcorn Depot, number one. Kiss the Sky is another one of our favorites. And the library and the Park District.
So you moved here in 2005.
Yep.
Did it take a long time for you to feel that feeling?
It did.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that was me.
Yeah,
not
I know
about
what you mean.
Batavia.
Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah. Batavia is wonderful. I think it was just a big adjustment.
Yeah.
I definitely felt the kids found their fit quickly in school and their activities, but it was a little harder for me.
Yeah. So do you remember like an instance where it sort of, the light bulb went off?
I would say we really started developing a very strong connection when we bought the depot and opened in May of 2020.
That's interesting. So you're saying you weren't quite there until you opened the depot?
Well, part of that is raising children. As you know, you are just busy.
Yes.
And we as parents don't always step back and do things for our own connections. It's really for theirs.
So true. Yes.
So I think I was so busy those years, 15 years prior with the kids.
Wow. Yeah.
That I didn't stop and connect. It was me.
I hear you. Yeah, and I'm relating.
The
I've talked about
community has
this.
always been wonderful.
I've talked about this a lot on the podcast where I have always struggled to connect, especially in new locations, whatever, and in towns. For me, it's even more of a personality thing because it's not just situational. It's like I walk into a place and my head's down a little bit. And you may have seen that from me, like at the popcorn depot, like when I'm just like pretty focused and I don't know whether people want to hear from me, whatever. And so just, I guess it's a bit introverted. It's a bit social anxiety a little bit. And you said you too. Is that you're gesturing to yourself?
I think what would most surprise people in your listening community is that I am an introvert. Taking over this space, the hardest piece is stepping outside my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And being good to my customers.
Yes.
But I understand because everywhere else except the spots where I really kind of felt that connection, I am the same.
Yes. It's really interesting. I think we have a lot in common in that way because starting this podcast was that for me.
I'm so proud of you because it's hard.
It is really hard. It's really hard because it really was night and day. It was, and literally, and I suspect this might have been the case for you. You can say more about it, but I started it because I wanted to. I wanted an opportunity. I wanted to force myself and others to sit down and talk. And that wasn't going to happen any other way. I wasn't going to go up to someone and go, "Do you want to hang out?" that I didn't know or that I didn't know that well. And so this was a way to do that. And I found a sense of control over my atmosphere. Makes me feel a lot more comfortable.
I like that because I feel that way when I'm inside my little hut.
Yes.
But outside, I'm definitely different. It
and
feels
you
different.
have a philosophy around why you're doing what you're doing. Everything's very intentional. And it's not like everything is controlled, but it's that you feel a sense of autonomy and control over the situation.
That is excellent insight, and you are correct. yeah, that's right.
Cool. And then from there, it does allow us the ability to be a little bit, this is the wrong way of saying it, but like be a little bit more normal in our day-to-day. So I've gotten better and better at walking into Limestone and just talking to people because I have that on-ramp. A lot of times I'll see people I've interviewed or see people who've talked to me about the podcast, and I feel a little bit more like it really is like ownership, or even like I deserve to talk to them, which is not great. But, it's not great that I have to make myself feel that. But
can totally relate to this because you're right. I feel like this experience has brought me out of my shell publicly too. Yeah. I think for the first 15 years that we lived here, we kept pretty private. And so now, people know who I am. And I feel more empowered to just be comfortable in who I am and let people see me for who I am, flaws included.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about myself too much on this episode. I can tell already.
No, I like it.
Because I'm really relating to this. And it's fascinating, the one-to-one analogy. Like, I'm curious what your relationship with your neighbors was before you started versus after you opened the popcorn.
Oh, that's a good question. We have a pretty tight group of neighbors. We live on Maple Lane, and it was definitely older, more established people in the community. And in the past 15 years, we've seen a lot of younger families move in. But initially, our kids were like the youngest kids on our street.
Yeah.
And
how old are your kids now?
26 and 24.
Oh, wow. And at this time, they were, I can't do the math, like 6 and 4, basically?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
But now younger families have come, and it's so wonderful to see these children grow up, and they know me as the popcorn lady, and I like that. I'm maybe the kooky popcorn lady. I don't know.
With an adjective.
But yeah, I kind of love it. I hope it makes them smile. Love being silly with children.
Yeah.
And making them happy. And I mean, I hope that's the energy I put out there. Yes. For me, with neighbors, it was complicated. There was a period of time where talking to my neighbor was like an existential nightmare. It was like just too complicated. I didn't want to do it, and it was stressful and all of this. And then I would say after starting this, two things happened. One is I just got more comfortable in the way I've already described. But the other was I felt a little bit of a responsibility to like live out the values of what I do, you know? I do. And I love that.
Yeah.
And it does make me more aware of being a good citizen. It has become a number one priority for me.
Totally.
And starting with respecting my neighbors, respecting my customers, because I know people know my car, for example. So I am trying to be a good citizen in where and how I park. And,
Totally.
Those kind of behaviors, but I like it. Like before I turn on the yellow, when you turn down Wilson, there's always that line of traffic. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sit and wait.
Pedestrian crossings.
Yes.
You don't want to get stuck in the middle of the crosswalk.
Yes. I always stop at these crossings for cyclists that a lot of people just kind of blow through. But I'm like, nope, I want to be well behaved.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like I feel like sometimes we forget about that, and we all do. Oh my gosh, we all do. Trust me, we all have moments. But I feel like in today's society, manners get lost often.
Right.
And I think it's so important that we model it for kids. And trust me, there were years that I lost. You're just going through the motions of raising children, and we all have our moments. But I am making a conscious effort now that maybe these little acts of kindness will have a ripple effect.
Yeah, or at least create a norm. I think
that would be nice,
I feel like it's important to keep those norms, to establish those norms, and sometimes they feel a little oppressive, like everyone's watching and judging, which is a feeling I really don't like, but it feels valuable. It feels like your intention is to give that feeling back to other people. So you're making, if you visit the Popcorn Depot Facebook page, or is it just your Facebook page?
Popcorn Depot,
Okay, so if you visit that Facebook page, it's not really a lot of, today at Popcorn Depot, it's a lot of, birthday is today, wish them happy. It's just random people. By random, I just mean ordinary people that you know from the Popcorn Depot. And you're sort of making them celebrities just one by one, which is cool. And they feel known and appreciated by doing that.
Again, I always felt seen here when we moved here. And I want people to feel seen. And I also feel like it's important to celebrate. There's something to be grateful for every day.
Yeah. And
when I started the birthday shout outs, in my head, I was thinking, if Richard's walking down the street and it's his birthday, people say, hey, Richard. It was a way to connect people. Hey, I heard it was your birthday.
Yeah.
Or happy anniversary. That's great. I want to make these connections for people, especially people who may feel a little disenfranchised due to age, ability, health concerns, things that maybe keep them from engaging fully due to what you said, like fear of being judged. And let's pull them in.
Yeah.
And show that these connections are important, and we all have stories that should be important to each other.
Right.
What's our human commonality?
Yes. Can you describe the moment that you decided to take over the Popcorn Depot? It's kind of a wild thing to do.
I don't have an exact moment because I knew for maybe this was our 6th summer season. Before that, for 10 years prior, I always had it in my head like someday I'd like to own this place. And I would tell Jack Pepper, that's Bob's son, who ran the stand for about 8 years. And I was like, someday, Jack, I'd like to buy this place. And he would just chuckle. And then it shut down September of 2019.
Okay.
And I was asking around some people in town. No one really knew what was happening. So then I reached out to the family and they said, oh, we have potential buyers. They're going through some of the legal things right now, but we'll let you know. And that fell through. But when I heard someone else was buying it, I felt crushed. It broke my soul. But then that didn't work out. So I felt like it was a gift. It was serendipitous that it kind of happened. And it was a risk because we, as a world, we didn't know what was happening going into 2020. But I knew one thing for sure, that I love this place and that I wanted to share that with our community. So it wasn't really one moment. It was years of having a dream.
It kind of sounds like that moment of feeling crushed might have been the biggest confirmation.
I think so, because then I really got not aggressive, but more assertive in talking to people who were connected to the depot. One being Jim Friedland, whose dad was one of the teenagers who built it in 1929. And he said, I'll connect you to this person and that person and the city of Batavia. So it all just kind of came together. And the family wanted to sell it at that time. So the timing was perfect.
Did you change anything?
No.
Nothing.
Product related, no.
Okay.
They shared all the information with me, the recipes, the suppliers. The only thing I think I changed is providing entertainment.
Yeah. So something a little more like for people to congregate around kind of thing.
And again, like also to have people feel comfortable sitting and staying and enjoying some time away from all the other distractions in the world, to just sit, enjoy your snack, listen to some music, make connections. Yeah. But otherwise, the product, no, we kept everything the same. In fact, when we signed the contract, when we purchased it, Alex Pepper, who is Bob's son, said, please keep the dollar bag. It's been around for over 30 years, and people come for that. And we did. And I'm so glad we did. Nice. I don't see that changing.
Yeah. The dollar bag is what?
It's just $1 for a small bag of original popcorn. Yeah.
I don't think I knew that existed.
Yeah.
That's big, because I'm a big fan of the mini scoop at the Greenery.
Oh, that's a perfect amount.
It's like the only place you can afford ice cream all the time, no matter what, It just doesn't happen anymore.
And it gives you just the right...
and spend like $1.25. I think it might have gone up a little bit, but it still feels affordable. And you're right.
Right.
You feel like you've eaten ice cream after and
that's
not
all
had
you
a
needed.
sample,
I like that.
It's pretty good. So yeah, same idea. I like it. How did you expect it to pan out when you opened it?
Well, I remember after we purchased it, I told my husband, I'm like, I might only make $10 a day, but I'm okay with it. It's my happy place. So I didn't have any expectations except that I wanted it to be a happy place. So
were you
everything
okay
else
to lose money on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
We went into it.
This was kind of an opportunity just to do a fun thing.
And to be involved in the community. Yeah. At a time, the first summer season, May of 2020, it was such a unknown time in this world and in our community with COVID that I'm so glad that people could still come and connect, because our connections were frayed due to COVID. Everything that's happened has been an unexpected blessing.
Yeah. It's interesting the nature of how you were looking at it. The stakes feel low in some ways. Other businesses, they start and they kind of have They're big stakes they want to accomplish. I mean, like, okay, an example is when I talk to the boardwalk shop owners every year. I've done it twice now. But most of them have a lot of big dreams, and they're testing something. They're seeing if something works. And it feels like this is maybe different in some way.
I agree. I didn't feel the need to change the product because I knew that worked.
Yeah.
I was a regular customer. I was here almost every day during the summer. So if a product is good and it's a classic, then that was one less worry. And the city is so supportive because we are the oldest business in town that's still in operation for what it was built to do.
Wow.
So having the support of the city, I wasn't fearful. I guess maybe you're right. My stakes were lower. I really didn't go into it expecting to make $1 million.
Yeah.
And there was already such goodwill around the space. So that was already established. So there's a difference in risk factors, I think.
Yes.
I wasn't starting something new.
Were you, okay, so that's out of the way. The business success is not a big deal in terms of like the payoff, ROI, return on investment, all of that stuff was not top of mind. But was there something that you were fearful or anxious about when you started?
I was anxious about, truthfully, being able to remember people's names, which is so funny because it worked. I really made that a problem, but I was like, oh, they always remembered my name when I came here. How am I going to do that? So I do have a method to my madness. You know, I will look at you.
It's a discipline.
And I will write it down, write the name down, and kind of use the visual as I'm looking at you. And then most of the time it sticks, sometimes not. So if I have to ask you your name again, please don't be offended, but I will get it. I'm like, do I have a cap? Like, is there like at 1,000 names, I'm going to like run out of room in my brain, possibly. But
well, it's interesting. As much as I like to play down the importance of learning people's names because I'm bad at it, there is something to the idea that you remember things that you experience, right? It means something to you. You connect with a person, you're going to remember, you're more apt to remember who they are and what their name is. It feels like that's what that reflects, is you're experiencing those people and connecting with those people.
I like that. Okay. I'll take it, but don't be too hard on yourself because I'm thinking to myself, it actually is a learning thing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that can't remember names. I can't think of what that is, but don't be too hard on yourself because it's not that you're not connecting.
Yeah.
There is a brain processing piece to it.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm a visual learner. That's why I always write the names down and look. I don't always remember if you just tell me and I don't write it down. So it's a learning style and a processing piece. So,
but it's also an intentionality on your part, it feels like.
I try.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying, I think give yourself some grace because you're intentional too. It's just, maybe it's a skill set I have, but I don't have a skill set in math. So, you know.
I'm very present with people, but then after it's like a little bit out of sight, out of mind. But the minute I see someone again, I'm like there again, you know, we were talking about superpowers before. That's my superpower.
That's a great one.
Like I can be there with someone, but it's not guaranteed I'm going to like remember your name all the time after that or in between. But if I see you again, I'll be excited about it and we'll be there.
Well, see, you know yourself. That's very self-aware.
I know that about myself. That's for sure.
I like that.
Was there ever a moment after you started the Popcorn Depot where you questioned everything?
Good question. Yes, there have been a few.
Okay.
I've had some major accidents there with the equipment.
Okay.
And that comes from being distracted or not focused while I'm running the machine.
Yeah.
So, yes, in July of 2022, I dumped a whole pot of boiling oil on my hand. And it was terrible. It was a terrible accident. It was my fault. I was distracted. I was running the machine. I forgot I had put the oil in and it was heating up for 10 minutes. And then, it was terrible. So, yes. But, you know, I came to work the next day. So
Really?
I did, after I had to go to the emergency room. But the burns,
Yeah.
yes.
The workplace
that was
hazards
my
you don't
fault.
think about when you're starting it. You're just like, maybe.
I did not think about the intensity
Yeah.
of heat coming from the equipment and the potential for accidents. But it's gotten better now that I have learned a system to stay focused. Even when I'm talking or engaging, I try to
Yeah.
keep mindful of where the machines are.
So who's working for the Popcorn Depot at this point?
My husband and I.
And that's it?
Yes.
You've got helpers.
I have
assume-
helpers.
Yeah.
Yes,
Are
I
they
do.
just interns or something?
They
or just volunteers?
Yes.
Okay.
Since I've had some accidents, they don't come inside.
Okay. Yeah.
Only my husband and I are inside there.
Yeah.
Because safety is so important. Yeah, I don't. Sometimes, oil shoots out and splatters, and I don't want anyone near that. So,
What has owning this business in Batavia, taught you about yourself?
that the meaning of family has been redefined as my connections in the community. And I love that. We have a whole family of people, friend family, community family by choice, not by blood. And I love that. And I love connecting people. I've connected customers, helping each other with childcare. The sense of community has been completely redefined as family.
You mentioned coming from Chicago and it being hard for you because you were used to urban life. At the time, it sounds like you preferred urban life. What was your life like in Chicago? Like, what did you do?
I worked for Chicago Public Schools. I was a teacher, and my husband was a police officer.
Wow.
So we both worked for the city of Chicago, and I loved it.
Yeah. So why did you move?
Why did we move? That's a good question. Children,
Okay. Yeah.
resources for raising our kids, affordability, education.
And did you both get jobs in the suburbs after that?
I started my own business, a different business.
Oh, what was that?
I am an educational consultant.
Okay. You do that now?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. So
Cool.
that's my day job.
And you consult with school systems?
I do. I work for families
Okay. Got it.
of students with special needs.
Okay.
And I offer services to mediate with school districts to better secure services for the student. And actually, I try to improve communication between families and schools.
Got it.
Because oftentimes I see the breakdown happen when parents are overwhelmed and don't really understand their rights.
Yep.
And the best way to secure services for their children.
Amazing. I did not know that. Okay, so what has been your biggest struggle?
The heat.
Really? That makes sense.
Yes. I thought about this. I'm like, what if you asked me what the hardest part? It is the heat.
Yeah.
People every day ask, do you have air conditioning in there yet? We cannot have air conditioning in there. First of all, any changes we make to the structure, which we haven't, except fresh coat of paint, it has to be approved. And
Because it's a historic structure.
I've had to contact the Historical Society, even about paint.
Okay.
But what people don't understand is air conditioning creates humidity and changes the temperature. And that's going to change the chemistry of the popcorn, like how the machines work and what the product looks like. So I will suffer in the heat. That's fine to make a good product. We're thinking about maybe an awning, a different type of awning next summer because we are in direct sunlight from noon until 8 p.m. in the summer.
Which are basically your hours.
Brutal. It is brutal. So it's painful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the biggest challenge.
The heat. So not the cold. The cold is not a big
Oh,
deal.
the cold I love. It's great. It's nice
man.
and toasty
That's
in
my
there.
biggest struggle.
The machines kick out so much heat.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't mind the cold. I would run that place till it was below zero if I could.
When do you close? What season?
We go through Halloween.
Okay.
And then we adjust to winter hours, which is Fridays only, 3 to 7.
Okay. Through all winter?
Through the winter, except a couple weeks off over the holidays, but I always post that or put a sign up.
Okay, got it. What is it about the Popcorn Depot that could only work in Batavia?
The history of it. Because of how it was built, when it was built, the different locations. So it's changed locations several times.
Yeah.
And it's changed hands, owners, maybe a dozen times. But it always goes back to Buddy Anderson and Norm Friedland, who built it in 19, and their families are still in town. So it's the history.
Yeah. Do you think it's something uniquely Batavian about the sort of passing from one person to the other?
Yes.
This thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
In what way?
Well, what I heard, I try to get stories from people who come and say, oh, I used to come when I was a kid, or I worked here when I was a teen, or my mom owned it. And what I learned was for many years, maybe decades even, parents bought it for their teenage children to work it, to have jobs.
Oh, interesting.
And it was a teen hangout. It's not so much anymore. I have teenage helpers, but it's definitely not a teen hangout.
Yeah.
But it was for decades.
Yes. Why isn't it a teen hangout right now in your mind?
It's I think it feels old school to them. It does.
Yeah.
And I talk to them, and it makes them uncomfortable.
Right.
I think I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to
you?
engage in conversation and get to know the kids. And, most people don't know I have a history in education and child development. So my intentions are to get to know your children. But I think it makes middle school and teenagers uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Engaging and making eye contact. And that's just societal, I think.
Yeah. And it's hard to know. I was talking to someone the other day. They were saying we need a place for teens to hang out.
We do. I agree.
There's nothing I know less about at this point than teenagers. I think I share a lot of their interests, but I don't necessarily understand them very well.
I don't think any of us really do.
Right. And that's always, that's typical. That's pretty standard throughout the ages has been the case. But it is a question for me of whether there's something unique about right now with the way social media is such a central hub for people, whether it has removed the felt need for a place to hang out. Or
I
if
think
you
the
did
need.
that, it would even work,
I think the need is there, but I'm not sure if the teens recognize the need.
That's what I mean by felt need. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will say a great place is Kiss the Sky.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think teens love it there. I think if music is their thing and they like music, it's a great place.
Yeah.
And Steve has a very similar business presentation as I do. If there's a long line, he'll still sit and talk to you about what you're buying, bands, music, anything of interest that you bring up to him, music related.
Yeah.
He will take his time and chat with you. And I think that's a great place for young people to go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What keeps you up at night?
Oh, that's a good question. Making mistakes with people's orders.
Oh, interesting.
Disappointing people. That keeps me up at night. I do not want to disappoint people. And I do. That's human, right? We all do, and we do our best, and we try every day, and some days are better than others. But disappointing people is heavy weight for me.
Like disappointing people with their orders?
Disappointing them in any way. I know that's...
Are you sitting up thinking about the different ways you could disappoint people?
I think I post-mortem it, the ways I did disappoint.
Okay.
And what I can do better next time.
Is that real, or do you care about it more than they do?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Probably I do. But sometimes, if I can't give someone, if I know they're going through something in their life, for example, and I have to keep the line moving, and I didn't get to touch base and say, how is this person in your life? Like if I have some customers that are caregivers to aging parents, and if I didn't have time to ask them about it, I feel bad. Did it bother them? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it bothers me.
Yeah. That says something about what you value, I think.
I don't want people to think I forgot your story and what's going on with you.
Right.
Or to ask about your children, or I'm thinking it, I just maybe don't always get to it.
Yes. To you, what does it mean to belong in Batavia?
I have learned that telling people you care about, friends, people who work at business, other business owners, that you love them. And it happens every day. And that did not start until we bought this business. But making it normal. I have business owners that come, or I go to their businesses and leave saying, I love you. It's I know it sounds odd.
Yeah.
But the love of this community and the support among business owners has been overwhelmingly beautiful, I think.
There is love among business owners. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really
and
interesting.
Among our customers, it's become more personalized, I think, since COVID. People thanking customers or acknowledging customers and being so grateful for supporting small business. Yeah.
Nice.
Or maybe I didn't see it before I owned a small business. I don't know. Maybe it was always there. And I just only saw it at a few places that I went to.
Yeah.
But I really feel it now.
Yeah. I think something changed from COVID.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I do. I think more people have realized that everything you really need, if you peel it back and get down to it, is here. If you look for it, it's here.
Thanks for listening to Area Code Batavia. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode. If you enjoyed this podcast, you should absolutely subscribe to the newsletter. Just click the link in the show notes. Most importantly, if you know someone who would love to hear this podcast, please share it with them. Word of mouth is the best way to grow our community and help more people feel like they belong in Batavia, Illinois. Batavia is produced by Area Code Audio. It's hosted and produced by me, Richard Clark, with additional production help from Jennifer Clark. Edited and mixed by Matt Linder.